After getting engaged to the young master, his entire crew started hitting on me behind his back. While I was puzzled, I saw comments appearing. The villain girl thinks she's irresistible. But the guys actually find her disgusting. They're only seducing her to help the female lead and male lead get together. Once her compromising photos get posted online by these guys, this flirt will be completely ruined, and the male lead will break off the engagement. Haha, she'll even kneel and beg the male lead to believe her in the end, not knowing the male lead is the mastermind. Because the male lead only loves the female lead, to win her back, he has to sacrifice the villain girl. I see. So I called my fiancé's most handsome friend, Derek, using the most helpless, crying voice. Derek, someone zonked me, and I feel terrible. Can you come to my house and help me? My roommate Emma and I were both poor scholarship students at this elite school. But I was the cannon fodder villain, while Emma was the beloved female lead who always had rich young masters competing to transfer money and send gifts. But she was too proud to accept any of it. Even after dating the Crown Prince Lucas, she remained the same. That day, Emma and I were washing dishes in the cafeteria. Lucas felt sorry seeing her fingers red from the cold water. So he gave her a bank card with $5 million and forbade her from working part-time jobs anymore. Emma felt humiliated and had a huge fight with Lucas. All you know is giving me money. You don't understand how to love me at all. Let's break up. Lucas was stunned. Giving you money isn't love? Do you think I can't live without you? Then he angrily pointed at me beside them. Hey, I'll give you money. Will you be my girlfriend? Such a good opportunity. I nodded immediately, sure, boyfriend. Both Emma and Lucas were shocked at how quickly I agreed. Are you kidding? If I didn't agree fast, what if they changed their minds? But today, 5 years later, through these comments, I learned they both regretted it long ago. To provoke Emma into returning from abroad to chase him, Lucas got engaged to me. But Emma didn't want to bear the reputation of being a homewrecker. So, to fulfill the main couple's love story and to prove their own charm, the supporting male characters made a bet using me. The first one to sleep with me would get a $50 million sports car. When Lucas found out, he smiled carelessly. Sophia loves me like her life. I was just wondering how to break up with her. If you guys really have the skills to tempt her into cheating, I'll add another $50 million. I was very surprised. During these 5 years together, Lucas not only pampered me like a treasure, his possessiveness was also insane. If I glanced at another handsome guy, he'd kiss me until my eyes were dizzy and I could only see him. If I wore a skirt shorter than knee length, he'd drag me back to the room until I had no strength to get out of bed. I thought he really loved me. Turns out it was all an act. But that's okay. I was acting too. I only loved his money and body. But now, since he and his friends want to destroy me, don't blame me for unleashing my true nature and playing them like dogs. Derek was handsome and pretty, with peach blossom eyes, even cleaner and purer than a high school boy. He was the first to know Emma. His family background was equal to Lucas's. He'd always been unwilling to accept losing to Lucas when pursuing Emma back then. So, he was the most enthusiastic when seducing me, and talked the most trash about me behind my back. I decided to play with him first. I called him, my voice weak and helpless. Derek, I accidentally drank spiked liquor at a party. Can you come to my house and help me? Derek agreed. Through the comments, I saw him excitedly at Lucas in their group chat. Thought Sophia loved you so much, I just bought her a few meals and bags. And she's already calling me to sleep with her. Get that 50 million ready. Lucas replied after a while. Need me to send you some tutorial links? Virgin boy. Derek, get lost. I'm not sleeping with your used goods. I'll just make her kneel and beg me like a dog to sleep with her. Lucas, don't forget to take photos. Derek, don't worry. I'll make sure everyone sees her flirt face. When Derek arrived, I had just finished a hot bath and was lying on the bed, pretending to be zonked. My face and body were flushed red and hot from the steam. Derek hid the disgust in his eyes. He positioned his recording phone directly toward the headboard. Pretending to be concerned, he leaned down and asked, Sophia, are you okay? I looked up at him, my gaze shifting from confused to focused. I choked out in shock. Derek? Why is it you? Derek was startled. You called me to come.
Huh?
I must have dialed wrong. You should leave. I meant to call Lucas. Derek lowered his voice seductively. Lucas is on a business trip out of town. Be good, help me unbuckle my belt, and I'll help you. Derek wanted to record evidence of me being proactive. How could I let him succeed? I looked desperate. No, since he can't come. Rather than being slowly tortured by the medicines, I might as well give myself a quick end. I grabbed scissors from the nightstand and cut toward my wrist. After a brief moment of shock, Derek quickly snatched the scissors away, his eyes full of disbelief. You'd rather die than let anyone but him touch you? Of course not. Those scissors were so dull they couldn't even cut paper. My eyes showed pain and regret. Yes, he's not just my lover, but my savior. I absolutely cannot do anything to betray him. I tilted my head back, letting tears fall one by one, like a broken pure love warrior. Then I reached for the scissors in Derek's hand again. Derek quickly dodged, seeming greatly shocked, even a bit jealous and unwilling. He wasn't worse than Lucas. So why did both Emma and I only choose Lucas? He suddenly changed his mind. Then I'll take you to the hospital. I wasn't actually zonked. Going to the hospital would expose me. Hospitals have too many people talking. If someone photographed me like this, it would damage Lucas and his family's reputation.
I don't want that.
I closed my eyes, breathing weakly, as if I might die any second. Derek was obviously panicking, his voice trembling with urgency. Sophia, don't scare me. Then I'm begging you, let me help solve this. Begging me? Ha ha ha. Did he forget that half an hour ago, he was confidently saying I'd beg him like a dog? Derek leaned down to kiss me. I turned my head away. So, his kiss landed on my cheek. I spoke with difficulty. You really want to help me that much? Yes. Yes. Then you can't use that part. Derek frowned. Not use that part? Then how do I help? I looked at his red petal lips. If you're willing, I'll help you the same way sometime. Derek's face froze. Time passed second by second. Just when I thought Derek would find it humiliating and give up, he still couldn't resist the temptation of me helping him. His ears turned red as if they'd dripped blood. You have to keep your word. Okay. Derek lifted my dress to my stomach. The comments exploded instantly. This villain girl is so shameless. Actually tricking the supporting male into doing this for her. At least this video is enough to destroy her. Really? Well, before I'm destroyed, let me enjoy this first. After all, this was my first time being served like this. The next day, everyone in the group chat was asking Derek for the video. Derek looked at me sleeping peacefully in his arms. With complex feelings, he typed, "She just had a fever last night. We didn't do anything, no video." Lucas was very disdainful. You couldn't take advantage when she was vulnerable. Derek had troubles he couldn't speak of, because he spent the whole night being a simp. For someone like him who valued face above all else, he'd rather die than let anyone know about this. But the comments were very confused. What's wrong with this supporting male? He clearly filmed a video. If he just posted it, the villain girl would be finished. OMG. Did this supporting male fall for the villain girl? After all, she has big bosoms, a tiny waist, and a pretty face. Hilarious. They're praising me to this extent. So falling for me is pretty normal, right? I opened my eyes and looked at Derek. Derek seemed to remember what he did for me. His ears turning red, his eyes showing shame and barely detectable hatred. He coaxed me softly. Sophia? You promised to help me. I want it now. I pretended to be confused, blushing. I don't remember promising you anything. I only remember what you did to me. Derek was stunned and exploded. Sophia, how can you go back on your word? I shrank my shoulders, my eyes full of fear. So you weren't really helping me. You just wanted me to help you? Derek's face stiffened. He suppressed his anger and said softly, "No, you said it yourself. If you don't believe me, I'll show you." Realizing he said the wrong thing, Derek suddenly shut up. My eyes showed shock. You recorded a video? No, I misspoke just now. Then show me your phone, or I'll keep worrying. I reached out my hand. Derek hesitated for a few seconds, quickly deleted the video while entering his passcode. After confirming he had no backup, I returned his phone. The comments went crazy. He really deleted everything. Doesn't that mean the villain girl got to enjoy herself for nothing? Please forgive my suspicion. I'm just too afraid Lucas will find out. You know he's vengeful. If he knew, he'd definitely kill us both. But if he ever finds out, just say I forced you. Derek was stunned. Why? I gave him a pure, innocent smile. Because you did such intimate things for me. You're good to me. Before, Lucas was the only person I'd give up my life to protect. Now you are too. Let's be good friends, okay? Derek stared at me for a long time. The anger on his face slowly disappeared. In its place was something far more dangerous. Confusion. Because everything had gone wrong. According to the plan, I should have been throwing myself at him. Instead, I was thanking him, protecting him, even offering to take the blame for him. His throat moved slightly. Good friends? I nodded seriously. Good friends. The comments exploded again. Derek's affection value increased. Wait, what? The supporting male is actually falling for her? This plot is getting weird. I nearly laughed out loud. Meanwhile, Lucas was becoming impatient. For the next few days, he kept finding excuses to test me. He suddenly returned from his business trip. The first thing he did was pull me into his arms and bury his face in my neck. Miss me? I smiled sweetly. Of course. His eyes narrowed. Did anything interesting happen while I was away? I blinked innocently. No. The comments immediately started screaming. He's checking whether she cheated. Just tell him about Derek already. Why is she acting so calm? Because I had done nothing wrong. Lucas watched me carefully for several seconds before finally relaxing. He probably thought Derek had failed. That night, another gathering was organized. All the rich young masters were there. Emma had also returned from abroad. The moment she entered, everyone's attention shifted toward her. The comments became excited. The female lead is back. The real heroine has arrived. Lucas is definitely leaving the villain girl now. I followed everyone's gaze. Emma really was beautiful. Cold, elegant, and proud. The kind of woman who never lowered her head. She looked at Lucas. Lucas looked at her. The atmosphere instantly became subtle. Then something unexpected happened. Derek walked directly past Emma, past Lucas, and sat beside me. The room fell silent. Even Emma froze. Derek casually peeled a grape and placed it on my plate. Sophia, eat. Lucas's smile disappeared. The comments exploded. What is he doing? Why is he feeding her? Bro forgot the mission. I lowered my head to hide my smile. Interesting. Very interesting. Lucas stared at Derek. Derek lazily raised his eyes. What? Lucas's voice turned cold. Come outside. Everyone knew what that meant. The two heirs left the room. A few minutes later, comments floated across my vision. They're arguing. Lucas asked if Derek likes Sophia. Derek denied it. Wait. Why does that denial sound so guilty? I almost choked on my drink. Meanwhile, outside, Lucas's expression was ugly. You've been acting strange lately. Derek laughed. You're imagining things. Then why are you protecting her? Derek's smile faded, because for the first time, he couldn't answer. Was he protecting me? He remembered me crying, remembered me saying he was important, remembered me calling him a good person. No one had ever looked at him like that before, especially not Emma. After a long silence, Derek finally spoke. You said yourself you wanted to break off the engagement. Lucas frowned. So? Derek looked away. So, if someone else likes her, what's the problem? The moment those words left his mouth, both men froze. Because neither of them had expected Derek to say them. Not even Derek himself. Inside the room, I quietly sipped my drink. The comments were in complete chaos. Oh no. Oh no. Supporting male number 1 has officially fallen. The villain girl hasn't even started her revenge yet. I smiled into my glass. Who said I hadn't? The best revenge wasn't destroying them. It was making them destroy each other first. The banquet ended with everyone wearing strange expressions, especially Lucas. On the drive home, he was unusually quiet. I leaned against the window and played on my phone. Halfway through the ride, he suddenly spoke. Sophia. If one day I stopped loving you, what would you do? The comments immediately went crazy. He's testing her. The breakup arc is coming. Say you'll never leave him. I nearly laughed. Instead, I looked at him seriously. If that day comes, I'll leave. Lucas froze. As simple as that? I nodded. Love should be voluntary. If you don't love me anymore, why would I stay? For some reason, his expression became even uglier. The rest of the journey was silent. That night, however, Lucas couldn't sleep. The comments floating around him were practically visible. For 5 years, I had always been obedient, always accommodating, always looking at him with eyes full of affection. Yet now, for the first time, I seemed completely indifferent. And people only realize the value of something when they think they might lose it. A few days later, Lucas's birthday arrived. The entire upper-class circle attended. Emma was there. Derek was there. Several of the other young masters who had joined the ridiculous bet were there too. Everyone was waiting for me to embarrass myself, waiting for Lucas to finally abandon me. The comments were excited. Today's the day. The female lead and male lead are definitely getting back together. The villain girl's engagement is ending. I entered the ballroom, wearing a simple black dress. Nothing flashy, nothing attention-grabbing. But the moment I appeared, countless eyes turned toward me, including Lucas's. He had been talking to Emma. The second he saw me, his gaze locked onto mine. Emma's smile stiffened. The comments noticed too. Why is he staring at her? Look away and talk to the female lead. What's happening? I calmly walked over and handed Lucas a gift. Happy birthday. Lucas looked surprised. What is it? Open it. He did. Inside was a luxury watch worth several $100,000. Not expensive by his standards, but it was the first birthday gift I had ever bought entirely with my own money. Lucas stared at it for a long time. His expression unexpectedly softened. Then Emma suddenly spoke. Lucas, I have a gift too. Everyone looked over. Emma stepped forward and handed him a small box. Lucas accepted it, but he didn't open it. He simply passed it to an assistant. The atmosphere instantly became awkward. Emma's face paled. The comments exploded. Wait. Why didn't he open it? That's the female lead's gift. Lucas didn't seem to notice. Or perhaps he didn't care. His attention had already returned to me. Unfortunately for him, someone else had the same idea. Derek appeared beside me carrying a drink. Sophia, want some juice? Before I could answer, another young master arrived. Sophia, try these desserts. A third appeared. Sophia, let's dance later. The entire room fell silent, because these were the same men who had originally joined the bet. Now they were practically lining up around me. Lucas's face darkened with every second. The comments were in complete chaos. Why are they all surrounding her? Weren't they supposed to ruin her? Something has gone terribly wrong. I almost felt bad for them. Almost. Then one of the young masters made a fatal mistake. Trying to show off, he laughed and said, Sophia, honestly, you're much more interesting than Emma. The room froze. Emma's expression turned white. Lucas slammed his glass onto the table. The sound echoed through the ballroom. Everyone jumped. His voice was terrifyingly cold. Get out. The young master laughed awkwardly. Lucas, I was just joking. I said get out. Nobody dared speak. The man quickly fled. But the damage was already done. Because for the first time, Lucas realized something. During these past weeks, while he was busy trying to throw me away, other people had started noticing me, wanting me, protecting me, and perhaps even liking me. Something he had always taken for granted was slowly slipping out of his control. The comments suddenly became nervous. Oh. Why does the male lead look jealous? He's not supposed to be jealous. He's supposed to love the female lead. I smiled and took a sip of juice. Across the room, Emma was staring at me. Beside me, Derek was staring at me. And in front of me, Lucas couldn't take his eyes off me. The game had only just begun, and they were already forgetting who the prize was supposed to be. Emma found me alone on the balcony. The moment the glass door closed behind her, the smile on her face disappeared. For 5 years, we'd shared a dorm room.
She knew me well.
And I knew her even better. Sophia. I turned around.
Emma.
She looked at me for a long time. Then she asked quietly, "Do you like seeing everyone revolve around you?" The comments instantly became excited. Female lead confrontation.
Fight. Fight. Fight.
I nearly laughed. Everyone. I tilted my head. You mean your ex-boyfriend and his friends? Emma's expression stiffened. They aren't my ex-boyfriend's friends. Oh. I nodded. Then why are you upset? Emma couldn't answer. Because she wasn't upset about the men. She was upset because Lucas had looked at me all night. For years, she had been the center of everyone's attention. Now things were changing, and she hated it. After a long silence, she said, "You've changed." I smiled. People grow up. Emma's eyes narrowed. No. She shook her head. Before, everything you did revolved around Lucas. But now, she looked directly into my eyes. You don't seem to care about him at all. The comments fell silent, because she had accidentally hit the truth. I smiled without answering. That silence was answer enough. Emma suddenly felt uneasy. For the first time, she couldn't understand me. And people fear what they don't understand. Meanwhile, inside the ballroom, things were getting worse. Lucas had already drunk several glasses. Every few minutes his gaze drifted toward the balcony.
Toward me.
Toward Emma. Toward us standing together. Finally, he couldn't sit still anymore. He walked over. The moment he appeared, Emma's eyes brightened slightly. But Lucas didn't even look at her. His eyes went directly to me. It's cold outside. He took off his suit jacket and draped it over my shoulders. Emma's smile vanished. The comments exploded. What are you doing? Your female lead is right there. Wrong girl. Wrong girl. Lucas ignored them all. Sophia. Dance with me. Before I could answer, she already promised me. Derek's voice appeared behind us. Everyone froze. Derek walked onto the balcony. His gaze landed on Lucas, then on the hand resting on my shoulder. The atmosphere instantly became dangerous. The comments completely lost their minds. Oh my God. Love triangle alert. The supporting male is challenging the male lead. Lucas laughed. But there wasn't a trace of humor in it. Did she? Derek nodded. She did. Lucas looked at me. Is that true? I blinked, then smiled. Yes. Silence. A terrifying silence. For the first time in 5 years, Lucas had asked me for something and been rejected. Even Emma looked shocked, because the old Sophia would never choose anyone over Lucas. Never. Lucas stared at me for several seconds, then suddenly laughed again. Fine.
His voice was calm. Too calm.
Dance with him. He turned and walked away. But the moment his back was turned, the comments appeared. Danger level rising. Male lead jealousy detected. Danger level rising. Danger level rising. I almost burst out laughing. Across the room, Lucas grabbed another glass of alcohol, then another, and another. By the time the party ended, he was drunk. Truly drunk. Something that almost never happened. When everyone began leaving, he suddenly grabbed my wrist. His eyes were slightly red. Sophia. His voice was low. Come home with me. I looked down at his hand, then slowly removed it. The movement wasn't forceful, but it made the entire room freeze, including Lucas, because in 5 years, this was the first time I had ever pulled away from him. The comments became eerily quiet, and for the first time, Lucas looked genuinely unsettled, as if he was finally realizing something. The person he thought would never leave had already begun walking away. Lucas didn't let go right away. Even after I pulled my wrist back, his fingers lingered in the air for a second too long, as if his body hadn't received the memo yet. Then slowly, he lowered his hand. The silence in the ballroom was suffocating. Emma stood a few steps away, watching. Derek stood beside me, expression unreadable. And the other young masters, those who once laughed like everything was already decided, suddenly looked uncertain. Because the script wasn't following the plan anymore. The comments flickered. Why did she pull away? She's supposed to cling to him. This isn't right. The male lead looks shaken. Lucas exhaled slowly. When he spoke again, his voice was lower. Come outside with me. Not a question. A command he had never needed to soften before. I didn't move. Instead, I looked at him calmly. For what? That made him pause. It was such a simple question, but it seemed to short-circuit something in him. For us to talk. I tilted my head slightly. We're talking now. Another silence. This one heavier. Behind him, Emma finally spoke. Lucas. He didn't turn. It was the first time. He didn't respond to her immediately. Emma's fingers curled slightly. The comments started panicking again. Why is he ignoring the female lead? This is not how it's supposed to go. Lucas finally glanced at Emma, but only briefly. Then his gaze returned to me, and something in his eyes tightened, like he was trying to hold onto something slipping through his fingers. I thought you'd be happy, he said. I frowned slightly.
About what?
His jaw tightened. This. He gestured vaguely between Emma, Derek, the room, everything. The engagement ending. Me leaving you alone. You getting what you want. For a moment, I actually considered that. Then I smiled faintly. Oh, a pause. I see. Lucas's eyes narrowed. That reaction wasn't what he expected either. I took a slow step back. I think you misunderstood something. The room went still. Even Emma stopped breathing. I looked directly at Lucas. I never needed you to leave me alone. His expression shifted. Confusion. Then something sharper. What? I continued gently, almost casually. I needed you to stay exactly how you were. The comments froze. What? What does that mean? I glanced at the glass in my hand.
Generous.
Possessive. Predictable. Then I looked back up at him. Very easy to read. Lucas's face darkened slightly. For the first time, he looked like he didn't like what he was hearing. Derek, beside me, narrowed his eyes. Emma looked unsettled. Because this version of me didn't fit into any of their expectations. I continued softly. But now you're starting to change. A small smile. That's inconvenient. Lucas stared at me, like he was seeing me for the first time. Convenient for what? I didn't answer immediately. Instead, I glanced past him, toward the people who had once tried to use me, who were now watching in silence. Then I smiled. Lucas. He tensed slightly at the way I said his name. You always thought I was the one playing catch-up in this relationship. A pause. But what if I was the one setting the pace all along? The comments erupted. No way. She's the real boss. This can't be the villain. Lucas's voice dropped. That's ridiculous. But it didn't sound convincing. Because now he was remembering things. Small things. Too many coincidences. Too many moments where everything went exactly how I needed it to. I stepped back again, closer to Derek. That subtle movement made Lucas's eyes flick sharply. Derek noticed too. He smirked faintly. Bad timing. Or perfect timing. Lucas's gaze turned colder. Derek. Derek shrugged. What? Lucas's voice hardened. Step away from her. Derek didn't move. Instead, he glanced at me. Are you asking me? He said lightly. Or her? That single sentence made the air turn razor thin. Emma finally looked like she couldn't hold it in anymore. Lucas, she said again. Quieter this time. But still, he didn't look at her. Not even once. His attention stayed locked on me, like everything else had blurred out of existence. And for the first time, I saw something different in his eyes. Not confidence. Not control. Not even anger. Something closer to fear. Because Lucas was finally realizing something very important. The game he thought he was running had never been his to control. The ballroom didn't feel like a stage anymore. It felt like a board where all the pieces had finally realized the game was over. I exhaled softly. Then I smiled. Not the kind of smile I had been wearing all night. Not sweet. Not obedient. Not careful. Just real. I think this is enough, I said. Lucas's eyes sharpened instantly. Enough of what? I looked at him. At Emma. At Derek. At all of them who had once believed they were pulling strings. Then I said it plainly. Enough of this story. The comments went silent. Even the ones that always screamed suddenly stopped. Lucas took a step forward. Sophia. I lifted a hand slightly, and for the first time, he stopped mid-step. That alone told me everything. I wasn't the one trapped anymore. They were. I turned my gaze to Derek first. You were right about one thing. He frowned slightly. I smiled. You were useful. His expression froze. Not anger. Not relief. Something in between, like he couldn't decide if he should feel proud or insulted. Then I looked at Emma. You too. Emma's eyes narrowed. But I wasn't finished. You all were. A soft breath of laughter left me. It echoed strangely in the quiet room. Lucas's voice was low. What are you talking about? I tilted my head. You really thought this engagement meant I lost? A pause. Then I added gently. I agreed to it. That hit differently.
Not loudly.
But precisely. Like a lock clicking open in reverse. Lucas's face darkened. You've agreed? I nodded. From the start. The comments began to glitch again.
Wait.
Wait. I took one slow step back. My fiancé. Your friends. Your little bets. Another step. Even Emma coming back. I smiled faintly. It was all very convenient. Derek's voice came out quieter than usual. Convenient for what? I looked at him. For me to leave whenever I wanted. Silence. A heavy, suffocating silence. Lucas finally spoke, voice rougher now. You're lying. I shook my head. No. And for the first time, I looked a little tired. Not sad.
Just done.
I just stayed long enough to understand all of you. My gaze swept over them one last time. And now I do. I turned away. No one stopped me. Not because they couldn't. Because they didn't know how. Even Lucas. Even Derek. Even Emma. Because none of them had ever been in a story where the villain simply stopped participating. At the doors, I paused. Without turning back, I said lightly, "Oh, by the way." A small smile formed. You were all very entertaining. Then I walked out. The doors closed behind me. And for the first time, I wasn't being watched. Outside, the night air was cool. Quiet.
Clean.
No comments. No scripts. No labels. Just freedom. I adjusted my coat and kept walking. Behind me, somewhere in that glittering world, chaos finally began. But I didn't look back, because I already had what I wanted from the beginning. Not Lucas. Not Emma. Not Derek. Just the exit.